Hello, welcome back everyone. Now in today's session, we are going to discuss about a very interesting problem. The same problem has been asked in a Google interview questions for the role of data analytics. This problem is very beneficial for you if you want to learn something new, some new concepts, and to solve many problems. This will be beneficial for you in logical building as well as if you are preparing for interviews. So let's come and we dive in the problem. Here we have problem statement. Find the companies who have at least two users who speaks both English and German. Don't worry about that. We will understand the problem line by line and we will solve the problem line by line. So you have a clear picture in your mind. If you can see this problem in the dream also, then you can solve it easily. So let's try to understand the problem statement. Here we have three columns. Name is company ID, user ID and language. As you can see that the company ID is same for this records like 111 and they have respective user ID. So what question want from us? Like you can see that for this company ID, this is the user ID 11. They both speak English and German. Similarly, for this company ID 1, the user ID 2 speaks only German but not English. So it will not be included. Now again come to company ID 1. Here we have two users, name as 3 and 3. They both speak English and German. So they will be included. Now come to again for the company ID 1, which is having an user ID 4. It speaks only English. So it will not be also included. Now move to company ID 2. Here you can see that the respective user ID with the ID of 5 speaks both English and German. So it can be included for the scenario. But moving forward, here you can see that this company ID 2, it speaks German. Okay, this will be in that bundle only. Now the company ID 2 person user ID 6 speaks English and Spanish. So they will be not included. So as per the understanding, this will be included because they are just forming a pair of English and German. This will also be included. No, this will be included. Why? Because they have same user ID and company ID. Moving forward for this scenario, this will be included and this will be included. So here is the problem statement. But what we want, we have to find the company ID who have at least two users. Means we can see that for the company ID 1, it is having two users like this one and this one. They both speak English and German. So this will be the answer. Like here you can see that. But before that, I will just insert a query for you. Just execute in a SQL server and we will solve problem in parallel. So you will also learn something new. So here we begins. We have this table, name is company user. What we want? We have to do data analysis on the basis of the language German and English. So if we can do a filtering like where language in English and German, correct? So what we did, we filter the data on the basis of condition that has been provided in the question. Okay, now you can see that in the output. Here we have user for German and English, similarly for these scenarios also. But what we want in the output, we want for the respective company ID, they should have at least two user IDs which speaks English and German. So first of all, if we can do the aggregation on the basis of user ID, then it will just create a clear picture for us. So I'll do company ID, user ID and count star. From table name, and I'll do group by because here we're doing aggregation and it will just give us error. Okay, now what will the answer if I'll execute this? Okay, you can see that the company ID 1 with the user ID 1, they have two members who speaks English and German. Similarly, For the company ID 1, the respective user ID 3, they have two members who speaks English and German. For company ID 2, with the user ID 5, they have three members who speaks English, German and English. Okay, because in that scenario, there are two folks who speaks English and one folk who speaks German. Don't be confused. I'll do just a select star query from the native table. So you'll have a clear picture in your mind, because I want that you should learn concept. Here you can see that this is user ID 5. Here we have two folks who speak German, my bad, and one folk who speak English. Therefore, it has included a scenario, but don't worry about that. So we will name this table, the column, as user ID count. Perfect. So this is the first step. What we want the user ID, the company ID, which have two users who speaks English and German. So from this query, we can see that we have to pick only these scenarios. But how can we pick that? To make picture more clear, I'll just pass a having clause. Having user ID count, it will not work because we are just giving the name, but its native name is this. Okay. I've also explained about this concept in my earlier videos. If you have any question, just go and watch that. Now you can see that there are three folks, two from company ID 1 and one from company ID 2, who speaks English and German. But we want only those users who speaks English and German, and they should be two, not one. So I want to reuse this query once again. So what we have to use? CTE, common table expression. That we have learned in last video also. Select star from CTE. We will get the same output as we were getting earlier, correct? But what we want here? We want only company ID 1 because they have two users who speaks English and German. So if I'll pass a simple condition, okay, what? I want company ID, CUMP and company ID, and I want count of star from table name, and I'll do just group by class, group by company ID. So what we will get in output? The same stuff, and just giving any name, it will not work. Okay, now I'm passing the simple condition as per the situation that we have, having count of star is greater than 1. Oh wow, we get company ID 1 has two members who speaks English and German. So what we did in the question, just trying to recap, we were having a table name is company user, correct? And we want to get data for that company ID which have two members who speaks English and German. Like here user ID 1 is the first member who speaks English and German, and similarly for the company ID 1 only, there was user ID 3 who speaks English and German. Now coming to the company ID 2, they have one member who speaks English and German and no one else. So first of all, we filter the data on the basis of English and German, and we find the condition that it should speak English and German. So we have just applied in having clause. From that, what we got? Three company IDs. Two are repeating. So we want those company IDs which have two members at least. So here the company ID ones have two members at least who speaks English and German. So this will be a final answer. So for that, we did aggregation on the basis of company ID and derived the final answer. So here we have solved the problem. Hope so you enjoyed this video and you've learned something new. If you've learned, then please subscribe, like and share my YouTube channel. It will definitely motivate me to just upload some more videos for SQL Server. Thank you for watching. Have a great day ahead.